Think of the Renaissance mind in a modern dating context. The artist profile is fueled by knowledge, defined by cultural refinement, and possesses an intense passion for participating in every aspect of life. On the surface, they are magnetic. At their best, they are animated storytellers who can hold a room with clever wordplay, a mischievous sense of humor, and undeniable charm. But that outgoing presentation masks an inward-facing reality. In Bazi Profiling, the artist belongs to the yin category, meaning their core energy is introspective rather than external. Practically, this means the very charm that draws people to them is incredibly taxing to maintain. Social performance exhausts them, and to recharge, they require deep, uninterrupted stretches of solitude. This creates a specific friction. Their natural openness makes an initial connection easy to ignite, but sustaining that bond requires navigating a rigid set of internal requirements they rarely articulate. Loving an artist requires looking past the fun, carefree exterior. A lasting partnership depends on respecting the unspoken architecture and the strict boundaries of their internal world. The artist's social filtering system is exceptionally strict. While they might be acquainted with many people, they actively curate a tiny, heavily vetted inner circle of close friends. Large group dynamics drain them, primarily because groups tend to force consensus. The artist avoids situations where majority rule might override their individual preference or independence of thought. If you pass this vetting and enter that inner circle, the dynamic shifts. The artist becomes fiercely protective and incredibly steadfast. Look at these key traits. The artist is highly dependable, choosing to value people over ambition. They reject cutthroat behavior and won't betray trust. This loyalty translates directly to their romantic lives, manifesting as absolute fidelity toward their partner. To the artist, a partner is a carefully selected sanctuary, intentionally insulated from the noise and compromises of the outside world. Maintaining that sanctuary requires following strict rules of engagement. Small talk and inane conversations about the weather are the fastest ways to lose an artist's interest. They demand engaging, conceptual dialogue. They want to unpack the why behind an idea and share enthusiastic conversations that bypass the mundane details of daily life. As outlined in these guidelines, they are deeply unimpressed by literalists. They want a partner who can play with words and look at the world from an idiosyncratic perspective, and they dislike those who blindly follow convention instead of thinking for themselves. This demand for substance extends to their lifestyle. Sharing a well-crafted meal, enjoying great literature, or unique pieces of art is a prerequisite for a lasting connection. The artist views intellectual stimulation and aesthetic refinement as the essential currency of love. A partnership that lacks these elements will fail to sustain their interest over time. Curious, what happens when this ecosystem degrades or the relationship fails to provide that stimulation? Notice these shadow traits. An unhealthy artist becomes highly critical. They start judging their partners against extreme personal standards and rarely reconsider those expectations once they are set. During this phase, their patience vanishes. They become intolerant of crassness, materialistic attitudes, or any perceived lack of intellectual curiosity in their partner. This hypercritical state can lead to commitment phobia. It stems from a flawed expectation that a relationship should be a constant, effortless source of joy and amazement. As the research indicates, when a relationship inevitably enters a cooling-off phase, the unevolved artist is ready to bolt. They begin to view the partnership as a burden or a liability. Failing to maintain their high standards rarely results in an explosive argument. Instead, the artist will simply withdraw, quietly and permanently detaching from the connection. How do you prevent this detachment and instead foster their profound loyalty? You have to respect their absolute deal breaker. An artist profile will not tolerate being managed, controlled, or told what to do in any capacity. Looking at the source material, the warning is clear. Issuing direct orders or offering unsolicited advice on how they should live their life is the fastest way to push them away. Instead of trying to fix or manage them, a partner must learn to walk beside them as an equal. If you need them to do something, it must be presented as a suggestion rather than a command. The ideal relationship for this profile is built on a specific balance: It must offer compassion and intellectual rigor while remaining strictly free of micromanagement. If you can provide this unrestricted space for them to exist freely, the artist will reward you by turning the relationship itself into their greatest, most enduring masterpiece.